We got new sound. I don't know if sound is working. Is the sound working? I don't know. I don't know. And people wonder why I sing at the beginning of the show. I sing at the beginning to find out if the sound is working really good or not. Because people will tell me that the sound is not working. They will tell me if it's not working. Via the internet vibes, bros. The internet vibes, bros. Internet! What's up, internet? It's Friday. Hopefully everybody out there is freaking out. I hope you all are freaking out because it's Friday. Let's see. What Friday is it? I don't know. What Friday is it? We should find out. We should find out what Friday it is. It's the 14th of September. Oh, 14th of September. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited too. I'm going to drink a little bit of my coffee. Oh, no. I left the automatic white balance on the camera here. Hold on. We got to get this thing. Where does that go? Where'd that go? Where's that layout? Video input. It's over here. White balance. Let's lock it down. Wait, we can't lock down the white balance? Hold on. Oh, how's that? Nope. It doesn't want me to do that anymore. It wants me to stay automatic. Wait, hold on. What was it doing? It was doing weird stuff. What is it doing? I don't know. I gotta lock down something on there. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's over here. It like gets lighter and darker if I move my hand around. It's crazy. Anyhow, I don't know what setting it is. Basically, let me put it to you guys this way. I'm going to put it to you this way. Logitech is the camera that I use here. That one right there. And they sent out a new software update. So now it gets lighter and darker if I'm like move something around. I'll figure out that setting later. Because the biggest thing we got going on here, I don't know if anybody can hear our sounds today. Our sound's pretty good. As you guys know, I was having incredible technical difficulties in editing via the sound issues I was having. I was having sound issues over here. I was having sound issues over there. I was having sound issues in here, in my brain. Everywhere I was having sound issues. I couldn't edit properly because playback would not work. Hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of trying to just find my serenity. Where's my center? And just considering going to buy a shotgun and just shooting this computer seemed to be the only option left. But I went to the other option, you guys. I went to the other option. I went to the option of leveraging my credit card against it. I basically leveraged my credit card against continuing to have sound issues. And how does that make sense? How does that at all even make a lick of sense? You know what I mean? How does that make it doesn't make a lot of sense, but realistically what I had to do is I basically had to spend a bunch of money. That's basically what I had to do. And luckily, after spending a bunch of money, it's working pretty good now. I am happy so far. needless to say, I spent a bunch of money I didn't have. I'll just put it on the credit, and we'll just see what happens because, yeah, that's just kind of where I was at. I was just like, I can't keep fighting with this machine. So I just ended up spending a bunch of money that I don't have, and now it seems to work. So, sometimes, you don't need a Band-Aid. Sometimes you need surgery. And it turns out surgery was the answer for this. And as you guys know, I don't have any health insurance on my computer. So I basically just had to do that, and now we have proper functioning sound, which is good. Coming up on the Friday show today, I'll let you guys know what's coming up on the Friday show. We have fan questions from the Patreon. If you don't know what the Patreon is a third-party hosted site where we crowdsource. We essentially crowdsource the ability to be able to do this show. As I said, it's a third-party site. It doesn't have anything to do with YouTube. It doesn't have anything to do with it's its own autonomous, independent site, and that's where everybody so many awesome people have signed up to help this project keep going, to being able to keep doing these live shows, doing the edited versions of stuff. We've definitely come a long way. I've got a long way to go. And I think some people out there have sent me some really nice messages over the last couple of days because I have been traveling so much over the last month and a half. And, basically, I don't know if you guys have ever fallen into this trap before, but you're basically like keeping track of how much money is being spent, and then there's like no money coming in, right? And you're like, oh, yeah, man, everything's cool. No worries. It's no big deal. And, I think I miscalculated by a couple of weeks because I just got to that point where I was like, uh-oh, it might be time to throw in the towel, you guys. It might be time to just throw in the towel and give up, because I realized I was just completely out of fundage to keep going. And, I got a baby on the way, and I that's like a compounded stress in my head. So, is that accumulated with like, oh man, I don't have any money right now, with the like, I got a baby on the way. And then like, that was kind of going back and forth. I was getting overly stressed out, but then I realized like, I did think about this ahead of time. I did have stuff lined up. I'm going to be heading back to work here fairly soon on some jobs that I can't really share necessarily with you guys. But all is well. Everything will be fine. Like I said, the credit card's a little bit sketchy right now, but not a big deal. Everything will just continue moving forward, and we'll just keep going forward. Speaking of the travel, you guys have noticed we haven't had a ton of live shows, and that's because, boy, howdy, I've been in Europe, Minnesota, Oregon, California, Alaska. I don't know, like amongst other places too. I know I'm probably forgetting places. Vegas, Nevada. I don't know. It has been a lot, and I'm happy to say that I'm going to be back here for the next month. And then we got 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Oh, we have 4 full weeks. 4 full weeks of home, and then leaving town again because Aquatic Experience is coming up. If you guys don't have the Aquatic Experience on your calendar, I'm unaffiliated with the Aquatic Experience, so if you guys think I'm giving them like a free commercial or something like that, maybe I am. But I will be there in person, so if you're interested in meeting like me, Corey, like Bob Steenfott, if you're interested in meeting Aqua Pros, he's going to be there. Flip Aquatics is going to be there. Lucas Bretz, he's going to be there. Those are the only ones I know off of the top of my head that are going to be there. But there's going to be a bunch of other people there too. Other creators, other breeders, all sorts of people will be there. I don't know. It should be pretty. It should be pretty exciting and a lot of fun. The other ones I've been to have been a lot of fun. Oh, there'll be another thing that's going on there that I'm pretty excited for. The big shrimp competition is going to be there. I believe I might aquascape a tank while I'm there if I end up going early. Now, the reason I bring up going early is, so some of you know that. Like the trip to Europe, to go out to Europe, one of the big parts of that was brought to you in part by Dennerley. If you've never been to Dennerley, check out their stuff, right? I do like their products. I can't wait to get some of the videos from... Sorry, I dropped my thing. I can't wait to get some of the videos out there from touring their facilities and checking stuff out. All that stuff there was so awesome. 50 years they've been in the business, and just their greenhouses alone, I think, is enough to be very excited. I I had a great time touring their greenhouse, honestly. I kid in a candy store. You know what I mean? Greenhouses are pretty much one of my favorite places in the whole world. I love being in a greenhouse. It's like my favorite. It's kind of my most comfortable space. If I was going to hang out in a space, I think like a greenhouse is right up there, or like the forest somewhere. Maybe those are my two favorite places. But I loved it. It was great. I can't wait to get some more of those videos out to you guys. Thank you so much for watching the Green Aqua and the Dietzenbach and Aquarium Glazer and all those. I hope they're like a little bit better than my old videos. I hope they're better, but thanks for checking those out for sure. And, doing all that. But we have some important business to get to here real quick. Oh, anyhow. Oh, no. Hold on. Before I get to the important business here, the reason I bring that up is that all of the companies and everybody that I've been talking to hopefully like sponsor some of the bigger projects that I want to do, they may or may not have me, we might have some meetings before the aquatic experience. So I might head out a day or two early. And if I do that, then I'll aquascape a tank. If I end up showing up on the regular schedule, I don't think I'll have time to do it. So I don't think I'll I don't know. Right now, it's kind of a toss-up if I'm going to do that or not. It just depends on when I get there and what meetings I have to be in. Some of you guys know that I've been talking to as many companies as I possibly can to try and sponsor some of the projects that we want to do. I'm pretty excited that some of them may or may not get sponsored. I don't know. I won't know until basically the couple days before aquatic experience. So, basically just the next month, put my head down, get to work, and try and put some cashola in the bank, and then figure it out from there, right? Frank Dominguez, first to the chat today. Oh my, it's been a long time since I said Frank Dominguez was first to the chat. Quickly followed by Rocky's Rocky and Samantha Flanagan, 1, 2, and 3. I guess Bentley Pascal, number 4, and JH Aquatics, number 5. Let's not forget Steve Horton coming in at 6, James Lyser, 7, Andy Dick, 8th, Tampa Tom at 9th, and who was number 10? Let's see, Steve Carb. Good to see you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, I don't know who 11, 12 were. But let's see here. Let me catch up with the chat here a little bit. Try to read this a little bit. Let's see what's happening. Gerald Wallace says the latest video was really good. Thank you. Bentley says the Green Aqua videos were awesome. That place is amazing. So in today's show, I do have some stills from Green Aqua and some other stuff. I wanted to share those with you guys since you're here at the live show. Call it the video portion with the air quotes here. It's just a bunch of stills and stuff that I don't really have anywhere to put them. I probably could put them up on Instagram and stuff like that, and maybe I still will, but I wanted to share them with you guys a little bit today, and let you guys check those out. I guess maybe early or something. I don't know. Brendan Wagner, first time from the Aquarium Co-op. What's up? Well, how you doing? Good to see you. I see Jeffro in the chat. Johnny Zelaya, Adrian Castillo. What's up? Candy Overhauls, mother of our #1 fan. Candy Overhauls is the mother of our #1 fan. And if you don't know who our #1 fan is, wait, where'd my thing go? Oh, there it is. Okay. You know, I've got it here on the computer, but of course this computer's been going through some of the change, you guys. It's been going through some of the change. Some people would say menopause. Some people would say puberty. I'm not sure what is going on with this computer, but it's been through a lot. And things are in different locations now, so we're coming along, though. But if you don't know who our #1 fan is, it's Caleb. He just turned 8 years old. He's been spending the last 3 years battling leukemia, just being a gangster, overall gangster, just #1 fan, you know, favorite fan. And the Fish Fam here has been so generous helping out with the GoFundMe, which the GoFundMe is just essentially helping the family out in a really hard time. You know, even if you just take into account how much work gets missed, you know, having to take care of your kid in that situation, your son in that situation, it's just a huge burden for the family, and everybody's been helping out here. And they recently had to move and relocate, as you guys know. That whole situation, so every little bit of you guys helping out, even just popping on there to say what's up and, you know, that your thoughts and prayers are with them, that helps too. So I understand that not everything is all about money all the time. Sometimes you can just stop in and say, what up? What's up? My thoughts are with you. Just a little encouragement from your homie on the internet. That is big time help too. So, you know, whatever you guys can do, just go ahead and do it. You just make it happen. Jeff Rose is heading out to go pick up some pizza for a pizza party. All right, it's Friday. Why am I not having a pizza party? Because I spent all my money fixing the sound. I can't afford a pizza party. So these two hands right here will be making dinner again. As a preview of what our dinner will be tonight, will be some fresh roasted beets, because them beets is fresh, with probably, oh, sorry, Vicky hates brie, so I won't do brie cheese, but probably a little feta cheese, maybe some pepitas, probably a vinaigrette. I'll make a quick vinaigrette. Probably do a little bit of roasted chicken and some broccoli and some rice. That'll probably be dinner tonight. I know it's not too exciting, but as you guys know, I gotta do what I gotta do, and I got to do what I gotta do. I think tomorrow I'll be making a friend of ours butchered a cow recently, and so we have some ground beef from that. So I think tomorrow that's what will be going on tomorrow. Some free range grass-fed beef. Something. I'm not sure what I'm going to make out of it yet, but I'll probably be making something, and it'll be fun. Brendan Wagner is wondering if anybody knows about controlling seed shrimp. I have a 10-gallon planet with no fish and haven't put food in the tank for a month now, but seed shrimp are infesting the tank. Best wishes, Caleb. Well, I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't worry too much about seed shrimp myself, but you can make a modified planaria trap if that's what, if they're really bothering you. It's essentially you're just going to need some kind of plastic container. Like I normally use, like, this one has food in it. This one's not open yet. This one still has food in it. But I basically would use like an old food container like this, and I would drill some little holes in it and put some food inside of it, and then put that in the tank, and then come back like 3 or 4 hours later. And then when I take it out, just cover up the top, take it out, and I'll have caught a whole bunch of stuff. That works with planaria too. That's just an easy way to manually remove them. I don't like poisoning the tank with anything. I always go manual removal myself because, you know, I'm smarter than whatever I want to try and get out of there. I mean, okay, let me rephrase that, guys. I'm equally as smart as planaria, so I figure I can at least battle them if I'm as smart as they are. Right? He's got jokes, kids. He's got jokes. But I figure I'm at least as smart as the planaria, and I can figure out how to get him out of there. And manual removal is almost always the best advice I can give anybody. So that would be the advice I'd give you. Fancy Tail Aquatics is here. My guppies eat all mine over 4 months time. Over 4 months time, haven't even seen one since. Yeah, some guppies or something like that would be a great addition. Sounds like you don't have anything in there yet, so I would just go with the trap if I was going to get them out of there. Nick's Fish Room says, oh, wait, I don't know what he's talking about. I'm not going to read that out loud because I don't know what that is about. What is that all about? What are you talking about? You can perfectly legal Canadian... What? All right, guys, I'm confused. What's happening here? I love to go to the aquatic experience, but crossing the border in the U.S. is not that appealing these days. Oh, just come on down to the aquatic experience, Nick. It'll be fine. Just come on down. The United States is fine. Everything is fine, you guys. Everything is fine. Let's see. Johnny's Elias says, nothing makes you want to quit the hobby more than trying to net eggfish out and pretty much destroying your aquascape in the process. Maybe it's time to rescape. Yes. As you guys may have seen a video that I put up a little while ago that let me see. I don't know. Hold on. Let me see if I got the link here, guys. Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? Oh, it's in here somewhere. Hold on. Yes, right here, buddy. Copy. I got to copy this one. Check this link right here. It'll take you right to what I'm talking about right now. But I did post a video just recently, a little bit ago. That doesn't take you to the video. That'll take you to the site. But Sarah, this brand right here, I know that their containers look like they're from 1973. I get it. I understand. But I don't care about the container as much as I care about what's inside the container, which the food is a really good quality food. But the thing that I posted in there was the O-nip tabs. Somebody said that they're named that because they're a circle like an O. I don't know why they're named that. I still haven't gotten the real story. But those things are perfect because you can stick them to the glass. The fish will come up and eat on them, but they're stuck to the glass, and you can net them out. So maybe that's something that would help. That would help fix that. That would help fix that. Maybe that's something that would help fix that. You know. I see some political chat going on in the chat going on here. I don't mind that at all. I never mind the political chat. I love having political conversations with people. I feel like this is such a one-way street though that I end up saying stuff and then people are like, "Oh man, I'm pissed," and I never got to say anything. But I've been called a lot of things recently. People call me a liberal. People call me this. People call me that. I'm a pretty moderate guy. Honestly, as far as my political stance goes, I'm independent. I wouldn't be, I'm not a Democrat or a Republican because neither of those parties do anything I want them to do. So I'm pretty independent when it comes to that. I consider that, I consider that the ability for Americans to vote should be the focus that should be focusing on. I think we should all be voting on all of the stuff that happens. That's what I believe in politically. I believe we should be voting on everything local and federally. And if we can't figure out that system, then I think they should just not do anything until that system gets figured out. That's what I believe in. That's what I believe in. Let's see. Yeah, Tampa Tom says, so true. Their packaging does make it look super old. Yeah, this actually is. See, this is a brand new can. This is a brand new can of feed here that's still good until 2020. But it does make it look like it's super. Their packaging looks like it's from the 70s. And to be honest with you, I talked to the CEO of Sarah, and I was like, I don't understand what's the deal with your packaging. And they're like, dude, we like the retro look. So I was like, okay, man. I can't argue with, like, it would be like telling somebody that their hair color sucks, right? You know, and they'd be like, okay, well, I'm not going to dye it for you. I like it. Hold on, I'm sitting on my foot. My foot's falling asleep, duty head. Hey, buddy. Oh, come on, guy. I got to grab Mr. Chips. Somebody say hi to Mr. Chips. Woof, woof, I'm a Chips. Woof, woof, I'm a Chips. Sorry, I had to move Mr. Chips because I don't want to roll over him with my my rolly office chair that's completely broken. I don't know if you guys tuned in for the episode that the chair actually broke, but you know. But you know. I don't know what Mr. Movie Man's talking about, but get that weak garbage out of here. Let's see. Need a good few fish canvases for the wall. Richard's tanks. I actually am working on some new paintings coming up. I have a few down there. Hold on, over there. You know, shrimps and stuff like that. I have a bunch of things. Going on. As far as paintings go and stuff like that, I do have to mention that Chris Lukup is going to license me. It's hardly licensing. What is it? It's hardly licensing. What's the word I'm looking for here? He's just going to allow me. He's going to allow me to. He's going to essentially allow me to utilize some of the images that he's taken. And one of the big deals with that is that he's taken pictures of a bunch of shrimp that I've never seen before. Okay? So, or not necessarily I've never seen before. I've seen a bunch of them, but I never got opportunities to take pictures of them. Like I never owned them. Right? So I never had real time to like take really intricate, awesome pictures with them. So my plan is to bring some of those to the aquatic experience. I'm trying to, but now the reason for that is that I'm going to bring some canvases with me to the aquatic experience. I'm not going to tell you exactly what I'm going to do with them there, but you'll be able to probably check them out in person. But my plan, and I polled you guys, I took a poll. I put a poll up a little while ago. I polled you guys, and the overwhelming response that I got from you guys was you would much rather have an art print than a picture, right? Because I was going to print some photos that I'd taken, and then I realized, like, you know what? I could talk to you guys and see what you guys really want. That would be the easier way to be like, hey, what do you guys want? And then you'd be like, here's the thing that I want. And I'd be like, oh, okay. So we went that route. And the overwhelming response from you guys was you would like an art print. There was a couple of people that wanted photo prints and stuff, like not to say that there was 0%. It was probably like 5 to 7, maybe like 30%, 70%, maybe something like that. But it was overwhelming enough to go like, all right, you guys want an art print. That's what you guys want. So I figure, here's the thing. The way that I look at it would be this. Okay, what do you guys, what would you guys be interested in at the aquatic experience? Okay, so if you guys are really interested in an art print, right, instead of a picture, Then I would probably be able to make some art prints. I don't know how much it's going to cost right now, so I'm just trying to figure it out. If I say I have 1,000 or something, then people might get pissed if I only show up with 100 or something, right? So I have to figure out how much they're going to be. Then I'm going to bring them to the aquatic experience. And if it's a picture that Chris took that I turned into a painting, we could both sign it, right? It could be like, Shrimp King and Gerald. So, that's really, that was really kind of my thought process, was like, oh, a lot of people aren't ever going to be able to get in touch with Chris. But for those of you that aren't going to make the aquatic experience, Candy Overhauls posted the, I'm going to check and see. I hope this is the right link. Yes. Okay. That is the right link. Candy just posted it. Where did my chat go? There it is. Candy just posted a link to the signed copies that we had Chris sign, all of the copies of the plant guide. Oh, hold on. I've got one here. Where'd it go? I don't. What the deuce? Okay, I can't find it. Okay, I don't know where it went. I don't know where my copy went. Oh no. I don't know where my copy went, guys. But anyhow, I've got this one here, which this is just a different model. But this one will give you an idea of what that guide is like. It has a lot of fish. It has a lot of shrimp. But the biggest thing in it, as far as I'm concerned, and a lot of people have been asking me about like where you can go to find out exactly what plants are that you're looking at. These guides these are made by Dennerle, right? Chris Lukup and Stefan Hummel. Stefan Hummel, if you guys don't know who Stefan Hummel is, that's the guy. That's the guy who has like physically gone out. I wonder if he has a picture in here. Oh yeah. He's a good looking dude, by the way, I have to say. So he looks, yeah, that's Stefan Hummel right there. I've met this guy, one of the nicest guys I've ever met. Every time I've met him, he was the nicest guy. I don't think he knows who I am every time I meet him. So I think it's a testimonial to just how nice he is every time. But he's the guy that went, all right, that's it. Goodbye, random guy. Can't figure it out. See you later, Mr. Movie Man. Banhammer. See ya. And I got to do it during my show. Why? Anyhow, moving on. Like I was saying, Stefan Hummel is the guy who went and actually physically got a lot of the plants from where they grow and brought back examples of them. He's the guy that's developed a lot of the tissue culture stuff. You know, the tissue culture plants that you see, that's the guy, right? And he's an awesome dude. And I really like what he's all about. And those two guys together have put those books and stuff so that you guys can really reference where those plants came from, the stuff that goes on, you know, behind the scenes, like where things came from, and then identifying those plants. That 2015-16 that's on the cover, don't even worry about that, because it is it's 100% just from that year. It doesn't mean that any of the information's bad in there. It just means it's from that year, basically. That's all it means. You know, I know it's kind of confusing because you're like, oh man, that's the old one. You're like, yeah, I mean, I would say it's almost the old one if it was like from 1998 or something like that, but it's still contextual, and those ones are brand new. just from like 2 years ago. So the information in there is fantastic, and it's a great way to go. It's Nature Man says, see ya. Okay, bye-bye. Let's see. Sharpie's Model says, I'm an admin in a modeling group. The band hammer gets swung alarmingly often. Sometimes we'll put up a post just to draw some of the trolls out. Yeah. One of the few things that gets the band hammer around here is, a lot of swearing or whatever, right? I guess. Which I would normally just be like, hey, there's like 7 words you can't use, that. Then the other thing would be bad-mouthing other people. And I do consider bringing up other people's drama and nonsense a way of bad-mouthing other people. They're not here to defend themselves. They're not here to talk about it. And it doesn't have anything to do with really anything going on here. So I consider that a form of bad-mouthing other people. You're essentially, the way I look at it is you're essentially talking behind their back. If they were here and I was interviewing them or something, then I see how it would make sense. But neither of them are here, and it doesn't matter to this channel. Needless to say, I hope everybody involved just has a fantastic, awesome day, and everything just continues. I hope everyone just continues to have a good time. I hope everyone has prosperity and good things happen to you, to everybody out there. I hope everybody's having a great time. 54 Punchy says, I am the old one from 1955. Well, my dad is older than you. And so is my grandma. My grandma's pretty much older than everybody and still lives by herself in Idaho. So she's got that going for her. And by the way, she I love my grandma dearly. She shows how old she is from time to time when I want to watch your show on the internet and I can't figure out how to do it. And she's just such a great lady. I love her to death. And then I realized, like, Grandma, just call me on the phone if you want to talk to me. You don't have to watch the show. I'll be talking about plants and all sorts of stuff that you don't necessarily want to hear about. So it's pretty funny. Oh, It's Nature Man says I was saying, see you. Okay, I got it. Yeah. Let's see. Didn't George Carlin make a list of words you can't say? That's true. That is true. JH says to smash the like button. I prefer to tickle smush. I prefer to tickle smush the like button. Just... right? Just give it a little, just give it the old, right? That's kind of the thing that I'm all about. I mean, I don't know if that's what I'm all about, but it could be a thing that is a thing, right? Why are you 54 Punchy if you were born in 55? Because I don't know. I like it. I like it pretty good. That's why I'm Corvus Oscen. I don't know why either. The Oscen, however, whichever way you want to say it. My name, which always confuses people, is essentially... Corvus is the familia of the blackbird, whether it be a raven or a crow or any of that stuff. The second word is typically the subfamily. So it's like if you did Corvus, let's see. Whoops, I got to type it in here. Let's see. Americana, I think, is one of them. I think is one. Let's see. No, that's not right. Let me see. No, that's not right. That's not how it is. Let's see. The Corvidae, right. Let's see. So commonly, where is it? Oh gosh, I looked up a list of this the other day, and now of course it's like a huge problem. Oh, here it is. I have to scroll down to the list. Let me see. Yeah, so where did that list go? I seem to have lost the list, you guys. I found it the other day, like super easy. Where did it go? Species. There it is. Right? No. Yeah, what is it? Brachyrhinocros is the crow. Then Macrorhinios is the jungle crow. Corvus splendens is the house crow, which I'm sure you guys have heard the splendens before. Cornix is the hooded crow. Let's see. So there's a whole bunch of them. So it's like Corvus whatever is always the type of crow or raven or whatever. And Oscen is the, or Oscen, either way, however way you want to say it, is the other part of my name, which is always super confusing to people. That's the part that kind of gets a little bit confusing because it's essentially like the singular of the gender, right? And of the familia, right? So, but it's of the family of blackbirds. So it's like essentially saying sort of the same thing over and over again, right? And that's my old handle, right? Okay, so anyhow, long story short, that's my old handle from being on the internet back in the day when people could just look you up in the so like if I'd put my whole name, right, if I put my full name as my handle online back in the day, you could basically just look me up in the phone book. Because that's how ghetto things were when the internet started. So when the internet started, it wasn't a long-range kind of thing that it is now. It's not a worldwide thing. We had these things called bulletin boards, right, which you'd call in with your phone. Your phone would go, dee, 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 and it would make all these crazy noises, right? And then you'd call in on the modem that you actually hooked the phone up to. You'd actually take the phone off. You'd call in, right? Probably on a rotary phone because it's old school. You'd be all, right? And then you'd call, and then like, oh, the modem picked up. And you'd put the actual receiver of the phone onto the modem, and then you'd be able to post things up on a bulletin board, which the bulletin board was essentially a black screen with green type on it. That was it. If you were super fancy man, you had a black screen with green type, white type, red type, blue type. Oh my gosh, blue type font. And I think yellow was in there too. I think it was like 6 colors. I think that's all that it really was anyhow. But regardless of that, that's what it was all about back in the day. And back in the day, if I'd put my full name in there, somebody could just easily be like, oh, hold on, that's actually like a piece of mail. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Let's use my Canon. Here's the manual for my camera, by the way, you guys. Look at this. Look at this thing. You could kill a mouse with this thing. But somebody could just be like, oh, well, there's Joel. Oh, here's his address and his phone number. I'm going to go over there right now. Because, like Washington State, if you were posting up in the bulletin boards in Washington State, there was one, like, big phone book for the whole entire state. So somebody, like, 400 miles away, living within the state, could have just looked my name up and then been like, oh, here's his phone number, here's his street address in a book. And they used to send a book out with your street address and your phone number in it, unless you paid them extra money, and then they would unlist it. Right? Which, thanks, world, back then was a real big deal. I mean, you had to like pay them to make sure that you're whatever. So I always went by that handle, and then come 2006, YouTube became a thing, and I started out my YouTube channel being this name. And I never changed it from that. I just kept it on here. And I don't know why I just told that super long story about that. It just kind of popped into my head, and I felt like I wanted to tell you guys about it. But that's where my name comes from. If anybody out there is new to the channel, oh, that's why I was telling you. Yeah, that's why I was telling you, because we got some new subscribers in the house. We got some new subscribers. We got some new peeps. Oh, my gosh. And we actually have some new patronizers today. New people to the Patreon. It has been so long. Oh, thank you so much, you guys, for just reinvigorating a little bit of blood into the Patreon today. Gerald Wallace, thank you very much. Shireen Thornton, thank you very much for coming in. And Jared, thanks for upping the ante up to $5, man. Jared's been here a long time. Much appreciated, you guys. Thanks for breathing a little life into the Patreon. I never really know how to tell you guys, like, how to really express my gratitude for everybody that's contributed onto the Patreon. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. It really is. And I still don't even know really, like, I still don't even know, like, really how to explain it to somebody that, like, a bunch of people want me to continue making stuff and just, like, helping out, you know, and, like, just helping out where I can. And that to me is crazy. But it also shows me just the power of humanity and, like, just how, I don't know, the power of humanity. Is that even how I say that? Is that even how you say that? That's not how you say that. How do you say that? Just, I don't know, the power of community, right? Maybe something like that. I don't know, but I'm excited that hopefully some of these bigger projects get funded. You guys have helped keep the lights turned on here. I basically took the last of my money and paid the electric bill, which was not a small amount of money. It was a lot. We've had to be running the air conditioning and all that kind of stuff. This summer has not been the most efficient use of electricity around here. As you guys know, Vicky Tori is pregnant, and keeping her comfort level is paramount. Anything else. So we've had we ran the AC bill up quite a bit and stuff like that. So it was a fair bit. Phil Collins Jr. says, I'm sorry if this was asked before. What happened to the real fish talk? I can jump into that a little bit. I'm happy to kind of talk to you guys about that in a little bit. The real fish talk is a lot of fun. Corey and I love doing it. We love doing that show. But right. So, don't listen to anything until after the but, right? That's what some people say. Now, look, I love doing the show. Corey loves doing the show. Jimmy loves doing the show. We love doing that show. Realistically, it takes a whole day for us to do that show. It's 2 hours long. It takes me 2 hours to drive up there. It takes us an hour at least of prep time and an hour of, like, wind down afterward time, because you can't just jump into another project after 2 hours of being online talking about all sorts of stuff. It's just the nature of the job. You just can't do it. So, and it really does just eat up a whole entire day. And realistically, if you guys go back and look at the Real Fish Talk numbers, it wasn't even paying to sustain itself. So, if you take into consideration, like, me traveling a whole entire day up there, it also takes a whole tank of gas, so it's like $40-50 or whatever to drive up there. And it takes a whole entire day that I can't do other work, right? And on top of it, it's a whole day for Corey and Jimmy also. So if you take into account it's all three of us, and then you start to kind of look at it and you realize, like, well, it's getting like 5,000 views. It's basically was getting 5,000 views forever, the whole time that we did it. We essentially did, I think, something like 60 episodes, right? realistically, we spent about a year doing it. And it wasn't growing. It wasn't something that was growing and like moving in an upward direction. And one of the big reasons for that was, we didn't have guests coming on. We didn't have more things for people to look forward to. A lot of people were like, man, you guys get on here and you guys are all just talking about whatever, and all I want to hear about is my pikefish, and it's like, well, we're not talking about pikefish today. And they're like, fine, I'm out of here, so it did make a lot of people upset in a certain kind of way, that they were like, these guys don't talk about exactly what I want them to talk about when I want them to talk about it, which, it's also kind of the nature of the internet. Like, if you turn on YouTube and you're like, how to drywall my bathroom, you get how to drywall your bathroom videos, right? So a lot of people respond to YouTube that way. When they're just like, hey, you guys aren't talking about the thing I want to learn about right now. They just are like, oh, quick, okay, cool, I'm out. I'm going to go, some people pitch a fit, and that's a very small percentage, but most people just go, they're not talking about the stuff I want them to talk about. So then they just go away. They're like, oh, never mind. Okay, maybe I'll catch this later or something like that. So that's like realistically the reality. What is this? What is going on here? Sorry. Hold on a second. Somebody tagged me in a post. Oh. Yeah, I don't know if you guys ever checked out that rap about lobsters. What's his name? Mac Lethal, I think. I think that's his name. Yeah, I think it's Mac Lethal. He did a rap about lobsters the other day, and somebody tagged me in that, and it kept like notifying me that this is important. You got to check this out. Turns out it's a rap about lobsters. It's not that important. You guys are important. But it was just kept distracting me, like, what is going on over there? Like, the thing kept popping up, which is bizarre. I don't know. Computer errors coming in hot and fresh. So we were doing the real fish talk, and we liked doing it and all that stuff. So we had to kind of take a step back and go, wait a minute, we're going to be out of town for a long time. I cannot emphasize how much traveling we've been doing. It is a lot. It has been a lot of travel. Corey is even slated to do more. I was asked to do more travel, and I had to decline it. I basically had to turn it down. I got offered to go on some more trips, and I cannot do it at this point. Financially, I can't do it. I would love to go out and film, but financially, I can't afford it. I've got to go complete some jobs and cash some checks, or I don't know. I don't. What happens when you run out of money? Well, nothing really, but it just really wouldn't. You know what I mean? But financially, I can't afford it. And psychologically, I don't think I can afford it. I hardly know what time of day it is. Flying back and forth and all over the place and stuff. I got the baby on the way. I mean, Vicky is super pregnant. Not super pregnant. She's almost to the point where you would start to say super pregnant. So once the baby comes, then I'm going to have to be here for, I've agreed to be here for the first 60 days, 2 months, whatever you want to call it. The baby is slated to be here mid-November. So I'm pretty much on a travel freeze through December and January, and then I'll start back up, probably taking a couple of trips in February and March, which ultimately I'm excited for. I find it more and more difficult to be like away from Vicky, away from my family, that kind of stuff. So, and I honestly, I would rather just be able to work on more projects that I could film and show to you guys, and show you guys the ins and outs and the inner workings, and, essentially take more time to kind of show you guys step by step instead of, shooting a time lapse and then, just watching me work at super speed, right? So anyhow, but the real fish talk will be on when we have a guest. Okay, so we had Gary Lang. When Gary Lang was in town, we did the real fish talk, right? When Chris Lukup was in town, we did the real fish talk. So when we have a guest, we will do the real fish talk. For some people, some of our guests, it's super stressful for them to be in front of a big crowd online for a long period of time. So it might be an hour long, it might be 2 hours long. You just never know. It really comes down to whoever the guest is, what they're comfortable doing, and then we're going to continue to move forward. So just like the Chris Lukup interview, just like the Gary Lang interview, we're going to keep doing them, but we're really going to reserve that time for when the real big guests come into town. I really want Tom Barr to come on. He just hasn't flown up to the area. I talked to him about it a couple of times. I can't wait to have him on. I would like you guys to get a chance to hear him talk for a couple of hours. He's an awesome dude. He's a vast knowledge. And so I'm just using Tom as an example of somebody, a future guest or something like that has said, yes, they'll come on when they're up in town. He just hasn't been up in town to be able to do that. Of which I'm pretty excited for that one, but the list goes on and on of all kinds of people that could be potential guests, and whenever they are in town, then we will do them. Jeff Rose Fish Keeping says, I'm flying to Washington. I will be a guest. It can be 3 hours or whatever. Yeah, we would love to have, certain creators come on at certain times. That's something that we want to do. Most creators, though, are already creating a ton of stuff. So if you guys happen to be in town or something like that, we could probably figure it out. I'm not necessarily saying, yes, get on a plane, fly around, or we're just going to accommodate anybody's situation. More often than not, somebody like Chris Lukup doesn't have a YouTube channel. He's not making videos and stuff like that. I know Gary Lang sort of has some stuff, but most of those guys' work is photography. So you don't rarely ever get to hear from them. And so that's why we think that those are kind of the more important guests, are the people that aren't already making like a whole bunch of movies or shows or any of that kind of stuff. So we probably will do that kind of stuff. Like like if Jeffro, for instance, like if Jeffro came to town, I would have you come out. We should make some videos in my fish room, probably do a tour of like the Aquarium Co-op, some of the local stores, some of the other local fish rooms and things like that. I think that time spent is more valuable if somebody was to come out here. For instance, and I can give you a couple of examples of that. So like AquaPros was here, Flip Aquatics was here. So I had Flip Aquatics come, and like Flip Aquatics was here, so we filmed a fish room tour and did some Q&A stuff and things like that. That ended up going out so other people could see some of the stuff that, through the creator's eyes, like people that are actually making videos and stuff like that. Ethan Billy just joined. Well, welcome, Ethan. Thanks for coming out. It's Friday. Andy Dick says, Joel, what is your favorite cichlid? Mine is a Jack Dempsey. Jack Dempseys are pretty fantastic fish. Oh, man. I don't think I have a favorite cichlid. I don't think I have a favorite. I can't pick a favorite. I can't do that. I can't do that to the whole cichlid family. I can tell you the non-aggressive ones are kind of my favorite, realistically. Chef Hannibal says Bentley is the man. Yeah. Vexing Cat said, whatever happened to the idea of finding an ichthyologist to interview? We've talked to a lot of scientists and stuff like that, and to be brutally honest with you, there are a lot of scientists out there that do not want to come onto the internet. Believe it or not. A lot of scientists and stuff like that, like, just do not want to come on. They're like, how many people are going to watch this? And you're like, I don't, 10 to 20,000, something like that. And they're like, oh, no, I don't think so. So the list is fairly short as far as that kind of stuff goes. And at some point in time, we will find, some scientists that will be down to come on and do that kind of stuff. Adrian Castillo says, I really enjoy your garden videos. You have an awesome garden. Thank you very much. The garden is coming along. I'm overall pleased with it. I do have a bunch of work to do still for even this year and next year. So it'll keep going, and I'll keep making videos as things go along. I probably won't be doing another garden vlog for this last week. I didn't film anything this last week, so and nothing's really happened there. It's just pretty much picking some tomatoes, and I did catch a giant rat, which I did not make a video out of that because I think that's disgusting that people post that up online. Unfortunately, I am not happy with doing rodent control. It's not my favorite thing, but it is an unfortunate part of the game that has to be done, and kind of realistically makes me sad. Makes me sad. I don't like that whole situation. But let's get on to the Patreon questions. And I clicked the wrong button, you guys. Oh, it's amateur hour up in here. I clicked the wrong button, y'alls. All right, where do I got to put you guys? I got to put you guys right there. Hold on a second. And then I got to go over to this old screen and go here. Haha. Yes. Our first post is from Jared, who upped his Patreon today. Thank you very much, my guy. Appreciate it. 3 dwarf puffers in this tank. Still hide most of the time, but I haven't seen any aggression between them. I still have some pogostemons. It's a lot of octopus to put in there. Yeah, that pogostemon will grow out of like crazy for sure. So bear that in mind. Hey, there's our first super chat of the day from Chef Hannibal. I'm going to answer it real quick, guys. Don't feel like you're getting shortchanged because I'm going to keep talking about the Patreon. I just don't want to forget this super chat here. It says, hair algae taking over my moss. Suggestions. When hair algae starts doing that in the moss, you want to go for a blackout period of the moss. Hopefully put it somewhere else. Let the algae kind of die off and get the direct light off of it. You have too much light happening on your moss. Moss has a tendency to grab a lot of extra particulate, poop, whatever, fertilizer, whatever you want to call it, from the water column, and it gives a real opportunity for that hair algae to grow in there. So I would move it out of the direct light, and that's what's allowing it to grow. Jared, this is a dope-looking hex tank. I don't like hexagonal tanks myself. Too many seams and too many blowout dangers, but honestly, I really like this one. I really do. I really like how this one's laid out, and looks like it's growing in pretty good. Let's see. Speaking of hexagonal tanks, Steve Horton picked one up right after Jared showed us his nice-looking one. So I picked this up earlier this year from my grandson's nightlight. Still had to refinish the door because I messed it up a bit. Too hot to work in the garage in this Arizona heat. Oh, man, I do not envy that Arizona heat during the summertime out there. I don't think I would work in the garage either. But then he's also shows the stripping here of the stand. He's got the wood strip down, looks fantastic. Then got the tank out, got the tank cleaned, looks good. We got a new stain on it. Oh, nice dark black stain. Where's the finished product? Oh, crap. I thought, okay, maybe the finished product is later. But with that nice dark stain on there, that is going to come out fantastically. I really dig it. I like it. Let's see here. Ashton Fitzgerald is coming in with this weekend's project, Frankenstein 2 cracked 20 gallons into one 20-gallon lowboy. 24 by 16 by 12. I dig the layout. You guys know I love lowboy tanks. I used to make the 24 by 48 by 12-inch tall ones. I used to make those, and I'm almost considering getting back into making more of those. Although the downside is that I don't know if I have time. I don't know if I have time to do that. So who knows? What's going on in the chat here? Let's see. Let's see. What happened? What happened to Bentley? I did my video from last weekend while I basically unable to walk after a visit to urgent care. Severely strained hip. Oh, yeah, I know that one. One of my legs pops out of socket. I just live with it, though, because who cares? Life is short. And I'm not taking painkillers for anything. Eric said, helping Turbofish move so many tanks. Long day. And a fish fam sleepover. I love it. More work to do in the morning. I love seeing everybody chipping in and helping everybody out. It's super awesome. If you guys don't know, Turbofish and Eric both, I think Turbo's a moderator on here. I think Turbo's a moderator. I'm not sure. But Eric Gone Mad is for sure. And really love seeing you guys helping each other out and getting stuff done. I love it. Let's see here. Alyssa Bentley, a new adventure for me. Very, very outside of my comfort zone. I now have some Apistogramma Hongslossi. Or how's it go? Hogsloi. That's what it is. Hogsloi. Loai. Right? Hogsloi? Yeah. Hongsloi, I think. I don't know. I always screw it up. I always read it in my head wrong. Well, I probably read it in my head right. I just can't pronounce it. Should probably practice, but I don't know if anybody's showing up here for my pronunciation skills, right? Coloring up and doing pretty well. I somehow wasn't prepared for just how yellow they get. They also seem to change patterns all the time, which is neat to watch. South American cichlids, however, when they start forming a pair bond, they will need to find new homes for all but 2 of them. Like with angelfish, is a 40-gallon breeder currently only lightly planted, but we'll be putting trims from other tanks in this weekend. I don't know how many you have in here, but a 40 breeder is generally good enough for 3 pair if you have it. If you have a lot of caves and a lot of plants and stuff like that. I've found with the pistos, they're generally 2 pair for sure. 3 might be pushing it depending on how much. You can obstruct the visibility for them to potentially attack each other. But you should be pretty good. Alyssa's a pretty experienced fish keeper, so it shouldn't be too crazy for you. And I want to make sure. Adam Stevens. Hey, I'm in the process of setting up a new tank. It is only a 15-gallon, but has a large footprint. It's 75 centimeters long. I have no idea what that is. 55 centimeters deep. 30 centimeters tall. That's like 10 inches. Are there any specific filters or heaters that would be more suitable for a tank this size? Also, what fish would you recommend? I was thinking of celestial pearl danios, or maybe just one awesome-looking beta. Any thoughts would be greatly appreciated. This tank is weird. It's got this weird glass top on it. I can't even think of a filter that would go with this, unless you drilled holes in it. I don't know what this top is about. It has like glass pieces all glued around the top, so I'm not sure what you're gonna do for a filter. Maybe one of those like little Eheim canisters or something. You might be able to drop the tube in like into these back corners here where it's cut out. I'm thinking that's probably the best bet that you could come up with. Just a little canister filter, I guess. Other than that, I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. It's weird. I look forward to seeing what you do with it. But as far as fish go, Celestial Pearl Daniels would be fantastic in this size tank. A single beta, maybe a male and a female beta. Work on a little breeding project, huh? I don't know, but definitely a beta fish would be cool in there. Maybe CPDs and a beta would be pretty cool. Tampa Tom says a sponge filter. You guys know I don't like sponge filters, so I never recommend those unless you're building a fish room. But an individual tank like this that isn't like going into a fish room, I would prefer an independent filter. I don't like internal filters that much. They are the same kind of disaster that a sponge filter is in my opinion. They just never worked out that great. They never look good. Never look great in there. Always look like there's a big piece of equipment in the tank. So I probably would go with the little Eheim external. That's probably what I canister. Oh, Johan coming in with the fish of the week. Micro Geophagus Ramirezi, right? Ramirez? Ramirezi. I think it's Ramirezi. Who knows? None of us are speaking Latin around here fluently. The ram cichlid is popular in the tropical freshwater community aquarium, while most cichlids are not well suited for a community tank. If a male and female pair of this specific type are placed into a community tank, they will generally do well. Numerous strains of Microgeophagus ramirezi, I don't know. Have been developed in Asia for the fish keeping hobby. These include numerous xanthistic forms known as gold rams or electric blue. I guess the cichlid question came in earlier. I do like the ram cichlids. They're all pretty cool, but they're so skittish, in my opinion. Me keeping them has been a bother in the past. So, I guess that's a thing. I like them, but you got to have like a pretty 3 sides blacked out on the tank at least, and not too much traffic in front of the tank, which I don't like those kinds of restrictions because I like to be running around all the time. So, let's see here. Let me catch up a little bit. Trying to catch up with the chat. Steve Horton says the Eheim Classic. Yeah, that's probably something I would go with that tank. But I love checking out other people's rams. That's for sure. But I do have to say, in the early chat today, I'm thinking I'm probably going to have to get some rainbows again. I've seen too many tanks recently with rainbows in it. They're just getting into my brain, and then I'm going to have to probably get them, at some point. It's just becoming a thing. An archer fish at some point in time. I don't know when. No guarantees, guys. James Hirsch says, it was nice meeting you at the Minnesota Aquarium Society meeting. Hope you had a good time in Minnesota. Looking forward to seeing your travel videos. I did have a great time in Minnesota, and it was great to meet you, James. It was great to meet everybody out there. I was sad to hear that some people didn't come up and talk to me. I can't tell you guys enough. If you see me, especially at like a fish club meeting or something, like I'm there to talk to people. So if I look concerned or whatever, maybe I'm on the phone or something and you just have to wait a minute or something. But I'm definitely there to meet people. So that's what it's all about. So come say hi. Eric showing off his I think this is his tank that's above the kitchen sink. Yes, this is our 10-gallon kitchen tank until it cracked. We now have a 5-gallon at its place. Yeah, he messaged me about this one. That's a drag. I hate it when a tank cracks. I'd rather just take it down on my own. I don't like it when things crack and break and all that kind of stuff. Eric, again, with when you plan your shopping day around the area of a fish store you want to visit. There's your sign, #FishFan. Fran Dookie coming in with I followed your advice and planted them in the substrate. They're growing like weeds. I got them mineralized underground and sand on top. The lighting is a totally cheesy 300. I'm burning at 2500K. If I can find a way to upload a pic, I would. A few of them are blooming. Did we get a pic down here? But Alyssa has some great advice here. People have asked this a few times. They can't figure out how to upload pictures. He says, and Alyssa says, if you're on your phone, try opening the browser and going to patreon.com /Joel_C, and you'll see more options there. Yeah, there are more options there, and sometimes you need to enable the desktop app. But I would love to see your buses. Your buses. I would love to see them. So figure it out. It just takes a minute, and then we'll be able to check it out. And oh, wait. No, you did. Look at me. Look at me telling you to figure it out, and you had already figured it out. Thanks, Alyssa. Thanks, Alyssa, for telling Fran Dookie how to do it, and me not knowing. Sorry, we're ways into the show, getting a little spacey. But here's the pick I promised. Unfortunately, one of the blossoms is already done, but there are just about to open in the next few days, and there are 2 more forming. Thanks, Alyssa. Yes, thanks, Alyssa. Thanks, Fran Dookie. I'm glad to hear your boosters are doing great. They do look like they're doing pretty good. They are about to flower. There's one right there. I love to see that. I love to see people's plants doing good. It's my favorite thing. You just sit there and stare at people's plants for a long time. Keith Borderly coming in with the assistance, please. I have no idea what's going on with my Anubias. It started with a couple of small holes, and then it got worse. It has several leaves now that are affected by this. Can anyone help me with a possible cause and or something I can do to stop it? The tank is at 7.2 pH. The TDS is at 325, 77. Temperature, GH at 10, KH at 8, using 6 pumps of Thrive per week. Substrate is a little dirt and sand cap. The other plants in the tank are Java Fern and Amazon Sword, which also has some leaves similar to this one, and some Jungle Val. Where did the... Oh, hold on a second. This is typically either nitrogen deficiency or potassium deficiency, one of the two. The holes in leaves are never good. The first thing that I would probably take into consideration is you do have this ring, this little rim of algae that's going right here. I don't think what you are dosing into the water column is necessarily getting to the plants properly. If you have the roots stuffed down into the sand, this might be the problem. You have really fine sand here, so plants are probably counting on pulling from the water column instead of the ability to get to with any kind of root feeding to make up for what they're not getting out of the water column. That is probably the main concern that I would have right now, just from looking at the setup and seeing what's going on and how much you are fertilizing and stuff. It one way or another, it ain't getting to the plant. So I would up the water changes. I would consider replanting stuff with a little bit more coarse, just a little bit more coarse, either sand or substrate or something like that. That's going to allow the roots to breathe a little bit, I guess would be the way to kind of describe it. That's typical of what goes on. Dan Squires posted something about beer, and I don't really care because I don't drink beer. So we're just going to move right on past that, and this isn't a beer show. So I love Dan, and I love his contributions, but I don't know. I don't drink beer, and I just don't care. Mike Howie, as you guys know, you've been following along with Mike Howie's barn build. He finally got us an update to let us know about some of the stuff that is happening with the barn build, and I'm pretty excited. Says it has been a while since I updated this, but here is the latest update on the fish barn. Everything is now self-sufficient. Auto water changes working, and the saltwater tanks now have their auto top-offs working, which is great. It's great to hear. The only thing left to do is some cord management and setting up a few more tanks once the $1 per gallon sale rolls around again, which, by the way, is definitely one of the it's definitely one of the best times of year to buy tanks. Like I even know retailers that buy all their tanks at the $1 a gallon sale. So I would definitely take advantage of the $1 a gallon sale if you have to buy some tanks. Matt Riddle says, I've blocked this channel 85 times and it always comes back. Guess I may as well watch. Well, thanks, man. Hebrew Hammer, what's up? The Hebrew Hammer is here. Must be a big Adam Carolla fan, I'm guessing. Thanks for the reply. I think I'm going to go for the Fluval 3.0. Really want to grow out the Parva and Dwarf Sag I got from Corey. Well, you know, if you are going to get a Fluval 3.0, which I highly recommend, be sure to use my affiliate link for the coop, because, the coop's good to us around here, and it will essentially help a brother out and let a brother know that that you guys are doing that, right? So I would go for it. I like the 3.0s. They are pretty awesome lights, so I just can't argue with it. They're just good. Let's see here. Aqua Freedom is here. What's up? Air Gun in Colorado. What's up? No, the non-drunks in the house. Yeah, as you guys know, I'm in recovery, and let me check the calendar over here. I've got to pull up the calendar. We've got 1,585 days sober, which is 2,283,317 minutes, or 136,999,000 seconds. Is that useful information? I don't know. Let's see. Okay, so back to Mike Howie's fish room. I'm loving the fish barn, seeing it coming along. I don't know what's going on with this insulation up here. I'm sure Mike is gonna sort that out, but it is great to see that he's got the auto top off. He's got all the plumbing going around. I know that this is just gonna slowly improve over time. I know that the biggest task is to get everything up and running, and it that has happened here. So I know that over time that's going to get more and more improved, and it's exciting to see. Mike Howie's one of the nicest people I know. He's a great guy. I got an opportunity to meet him in Michigan, and I love it. I love seeing his barn come along, and that's exciting, man. That's exciting and cool. It's fantastic. Alvin's Aquariums shared that the podcasts are happening of the old episodes. So if anybody wants to go watch the old episodes, there is a link on the Patreon for you to go check out the episodes. Like, if you want to go listen to some of the old episodes, you can listen to them on the podcast format as they get uploaded. Alvin and Dan are working on those to get those out to you guys. I don't. It's essentially being fan published, because I could never find anything to allow me to host all the stuff for a reasonable price. So a big shout out to Alvin and Dan for just hosting it and getting them out there so you guys can go listen to some of the old ones if you like. Just rock and roll if that's what you guys like. Dave's Plantification said, "Good week, everyone. Does anyone know if Joel does one-on-one consultations?" And James Leiser had a great response here. Basically, at the $10,000 teal, he'll come to your place and personally help you. Yes, I do one-on-one consultations from time to time. It's not very often that I do them because I have a lot of work to do. I'm very busy, and so I don't do one-on-one consultations very often. The reason why the $10,000 tier is there is just in case Jeff Bezos or somebody crazy like that comes in throwing down a bunch of money, then at least we'd all know what was going on, right? So that's why that tier is there. I might add another 0 on it just to let people kind of know that it is really a joke. But if somebody's super rich and they want to throw down, they can. Otherwise, he posted my email right there, joel@darkstararts.com. You can get a hold of me there. And more often than not, I can probably just lead you in the right direction. But yes, you could hire me. It's not free, though, basically. Sarah Baker says, "I just wanted to share the 6-month update on my 54-gallon community tank planted at the beginning of March and growth until now. Low tech, no CO2, Fluval 2.0 lighting." I still think 2.0 lights are still good. I still think they're still good, except the 3.0 is just so much more controllability and a lot more waterproofing. I'm really happy with the 2 that I have. Yes, I know they're not cheap, and I don't really have any money, so I've only been able to upgrade the 2 that I've been able to do. And I'll be upgrading them when I can, but I will switch over to all the 3.0s eventually. Thrive half dose twice weekly. The first picture was on March 3rd. The second picture was on September 11th. Drum roll, please. Wait. Is anybody drum rolling right now? Is anybody doing the drum roll? Somebody do the drum roll. Drum roll, please. Brrr, something. I don't know. I can't make a drum roll with my mouth. Oh my gosh. And the second picture is from September 11th right here. I have to admit, it is like night and day. Whoa. Whoa. Right? Whoa. Whoa. Honestly, this is lacking some of the shape and stuff I'm looking for in an aquarium. But so much for me, because look at that. It grew in quite nicely. I love it. Nice planting. You do have to trim some plants here. This Ludwigia is out of control over here. The water sprite looks nicely trimmed. This is, but otherwise, I kind of really like everything that's going on here. It looks great, and a big time difference from here to here. I see you move some plants around, so it's not without trials and tribulations, and you've done a bunch of work in the last 6 months, and that is fantastic. I love it. I think it looks great. What are the comments here? Sure is purty. That is right. I love it. Oh, and you got your YouTube link on there. I love that too. Share out your YouTube links on the Patreon. It is a great spot to share your YouTube pages out with other, fish fan people. Works great. And Patreon is a great place to do it. Let's see what we got here. Pamela Earlywine chiming in with a 12-day-old Farlowella fry. I always say Farlowella. I leave that L out because I'm not that bright. But there are 13 fry. I believe I've got them dialed in. I was losing most of them at the point where they were hatching, tails out of the eggs, and then they would die. Finally got it figured out, and had a good hatch this time. More to come. That is awesome. I love to hear that. If you don't know who Pamela is, that is 54 Punchy. She was from 1955, and she's doing a great job breeding her fish. And the fishy mailman coming in last but not least today with 1 day old crystal shrimp, and I'm a big fan. Look at that. It is a camera phone picture. He even says it's a cell phone picture, so it's not the best, and I get it, but that's pretty good for a cell phone picture. And dude, nothing cooler than actually spotting the crystal shrimp babies. They are so freaking tiny. It is next level how tiny they are. So it's pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting. Sarah Baker. You can't trick me anymore, Recab Harris. Oh, you can't trick me anymore, Sarah Baker. I figured it out. I figured it out with my brain stuffs. You spelled your name backwards, and you tricked me for a really long time. And I appreciate it. I appreciate you tricking me and making me feel like I figured something out after a long time of saying Recab Harris. It's freaking genius, though. I do have to admit. You tricked me, and I swear, I thought I was talking to somebody from, I don't know, Palestine or something. I don't know, the Middle East or something. It just conjured that idea in my head, and I didn't realize I was talking to Sarah Baker. Also, I'm not that bright. I think I said that earlier. But yes, it's a good time to get the trimmings in. I got to switch the thing back. This is not the right one. We have to go to this one right here. Hello. Yes. Okay, there we go. Now it's working. Okay, so thank you everybody for chiming in and sending in your posts. It's like nothing but good posts this time around. Like, I like that. I like that feels. I think we're just building a good community here, and then everyone that has contributions, it's just like, oh, that's just good. That's just a good contribution. I dig it. Whoa. Excuse me. But, you know, I think we're coming up on the end of the show today. I know. All right, fine. I'll do it. I'll do the slideshow. You guys can check out the slideshow. Where is it? Where'd it go? Where's the slideshow? I have to scoot over here. Check this out. Professional. Yes. I'll let you guys check out the slideshow. We'll talk about these next week, I think. It's been about an hour and a half, and my throat is starting to get a little bit haggard with just talking straight. So I'm going to have to... we're going to just be coming up on the end of the show. I want to thank everybody. Oh, Howie9 chipping in a $5 super chat. Thanks, my guy. The insulation might have to stay. It's above the stairs and really tough to get to. Yeah, I know. I know that feel. I know that feeling. Charlene Thornton, Jared, and Gerald Wallace, thanks for coming on to the Patreon and becoming new Patreonizers today. That was awesome. And I got to scroll up here. Where'd it go? Chef Hannibal, thanks for your super chat today. I appreciate you guys chipping in. It's super awesome. I can't say enough times how much the Patreon is the important place to be at. I appreciate your super chats and stuff like that. I really do. But the Patreon is the spot to be. It really is. It's the one that I can actually look at, actually know what's going on. It just really is. It's just the best. It's the best place to be at if you're going to be at and you want to support. It works out the best. Let's see. Lisa Pett says, I managed to stay up for the whole stream. Woohoo! Where is Lisa Pets? Where are you? Is it late where you're at? I don't know. It's 4:30 p.m. here where I'm at right now. Noob Phobos is back to the hurricane now. Stay safe, everybody. Oh my gosh. I didn't even mention the hurricane today. There is a big hurricane hitting the East Coast, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia. Everybody out there, stay super safe. I saw a report. They had over 20 inches of rain in, like, overnight. Like, 20 inches of rain in, like, 12 hours. That is crazy. So just stay safe out there. The wind is nuts. The rain is nuts. If you have not evacuated, don't try now. It's too late now. Try to hunker down and just stay as safe as you can. And, my thoughts are with you. I hope just stay safe. That's the main thing, because everything can be rebuilt. We can rebuild, but we can't remake, a specific person, right? We can make new people, but we can't remake a specific person. I think that's how that goes, right? But yeah, we just have a bit of a slideshow going on here. If you guys want to check out some of the shots that I didn't really have anywhere to put. I didn't really have anywhere to put them. And I just wanted to share with you guys some of the, I just wanted to share with you guys some of the pictures and stuff. This one, I don't know how that one got in there. That one just snuck in there. But it just gives you an idea of what it's like in... That was in Budapest. There's just weird stuff going on in Budapest, so I took that picture. But Rickab Harris saying the slideshow is amazing. I'm probably going to do some more slideshows for you guys. This was sort of my first take on it. If you guys don't like the slideshow, you guys can tell me it's dumb and don't ever do it again. But I think I'm going to do it again because I realistically only spent, I didn't spend a ton of time, putting this together. And I think that it could only get better if I spend more time on it and able to share, so many stills and pictures and stuff that I have with you guys in a more economical fashion of, not having to release like 1 or 2 pictures a day, you know, like Instagram type stuff. So, but big shout out to everybody for coming out today and supporting on a Friday and hitting the like button and hitting the share button. If you like this show, please take a minute to share it out. If you like some of the edited videos, take a minute to share those out. I am trying desperately. There's just no better way to put it. I'm trying desperately to grow the community here a little bit. We have some milestones to try and hit, and hopefully we can do that so that we can try and do bigger and better projects, because it doesn't seem like Netflix is ever going to do it. I don't think Amazon is ever going to show up and make a show. So we're just on the independent tip. I think that's as good as it's going to get. I think just being on the independent tip is as good as it's going to get, and I'm just going to have to do the best that we can to kind of grow the community here, and just move along that route, because there are some big projects that I want to do, and I'm not expecting you guys to pay for it. Does that make sense? I'm excited because, like I said, I did my maths, right? I did my maths on my budget, and I completely screwed up. And a big part of that is because I spent the over $1,000 for the other 120 that I'm going to be setting up to show you guys how to set up. I should have not done that. That was basically it. I should have not done that because I pushed the budget really hard. If everything had worked out perfectly, I think it would have been fine. But with all the travel costs and things like that, that kind of like there was really no way to, you know, guesstimate like how that stuff was going to happen. Like I couldn't just like guess. Like I think it's going to be something. It didn't work out that way. So I guess I should have not done that, but the tank is done, and so I had to pay for it. So that was kind of the big deal. But like I said, if you guys use the affiliate links and stuff like that for Amazon, for Aquarium Co-op, for all the other weird affiliate links and stuff like that I have, you don't have to buy anything or anything like that. But if you take that time to share it out and stuff like that, it'd be great. John, let's see. What happened here? Thanks. Let's see. Seems a medium grower. Mine grows string-like, though, and gets everywhere. It definitely does not stay in place. I think I got the ball of it in October. I took the mat in July. Let's see. John was asking. What was John asking about? Let me see. Oh, Pilo Moss? I don't think I've ever done that. Let me see. No, I don't. Hey, I think you found a plant. Pilotricaceae. I don't know how to say that one. Pilomoss. Okay, yeah, I've seen Pilomoss before. I've never grown it personally. That you got me on that one. I'm a plant guy, and I have never had that one. Most plants I have had at some point in time, but I have never had this one. Looks to grow. Well, I think people are confusing. Yeah, because I'm seeing a bunch of different kinds of mosses that should not be under that. Well, either way, I don't think that's one that I've specifically ever had before, but it does appear to grow similar to Christmas moss or something along those lines. So I would, yeah, probably is a pretty slow grower. I'd keep it out of that full light. I'd keep it in a medium light. Be sure to be fertilizing the water column, and that will help out. But keep that direct light off of it. It's always a disaster when you're dealing with just powerful direct light onto moss, like this picture right here that I'm talking about right now in the slideshow. Gives you a good idea that they do have a bit of direct light on that, but it is indirect. So like that's pretty diffuse light, because in that tank they're actually using T5, so it's more of a spread out light. Just be aware that if you are using like LEDs and stuff like that, you're just going to have a little bit of problems. You just need to keep it out of the direct light. That's the main thing I remind people on a regular basis to bear in mind with your growing of some mosses and stuff. So, all right, guys, I love you very much. It is Friday. I got to go because I got to go get dinner ready and stuff, and I got to find me some ice water. That's right. You have a plant that I haven't had. You do win. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's cool to see so many of us outside the U.S. join in. It is cool. I love it. I love seeing everybody grow in the community here and stuff. It's fantastic. All right, I love you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off now. Thanks for showing up and spending some time here on a Friday. I know it's late for some of you, but I'll be talking to you later. CJ Black hit the button again.